And Andoni Iraola
Yeah.
was born within 3 months of you, 7 miles away. You're almost brothers.
Well, we know each other really well. We played together. We had fantastic times together. We played in Antioquia. It's a team in San Sebastian that has produced a lot of players over the years. They do fantastic work, and we were privileged to be raised there, to be educated there, and that's the beauty of football. That 30, 40 years later, we are together in the Premier League as managers, both of them, and I'm really, really happy for him.
Is there something in the Basque region water that produces good football coaches?
Well, first of all, is the passion about the game, about football. I think the education that we get at level of coaches there is really good. They really take care of the academy. You have to see Real Sociedad, Athletic Bilbao, Eibar, all those teams. They do fantastic work to raise talent, and it's not a coincidence that a lot of players have come through there.
About your friendship with the Bournemouth manager, how easy is that to put aside when you're going into a game?
I think very easy. You are in winning mode, to compete, get the best out of your team, and get in the battle. And before and after is a different story, especially after. But during, there is nothing there.
So you'll definitely pop in and see him after the game.
For sure, yes.
Mikel, Andoni said in an interview yesterday that you were the player above the rest of that pack that came through at the same time. What do you remember of him from when you were there?
I would say the same. I think he was better technically, especially than everybody else. He used to play as a winger, that winger coming inside when he was younger, and then as he got a little bit older in his career, he played as a fullback. He will be an incredible fullback, inverted fullback to play there. He will be a dream for any manager to have a player like him. Really intelligent, really skillful, and yeah, very good to play with him.
In terms of the goalkeeper, the inevitable goalkeeper situation, can I take it for granted that the keeper that starts will have a surname that begins with R?
You are a genius. I have my answer for the rest of the season. Thank you so much for your cooperation.
He'll play his way into form, basically.
Yes, and he needs to glide within the team. You know, the amount of time that he's played in the left unit with those players is 3 times, 4 times, you know, and we're going to have to carry on doing that. And certainly we have the experience of that with many other players, and try to give him as much support and confidence as we possibly can, because that's going to help him for sure.
Can I ask you one final one? Apart from the goalkeeping situation, the only other person that seems to be talked about recently is Kai Havertz, who doesn't seem to, perhaps from the outside, settled in or produced his best form yet. How are you going to get the best out of Kai Havertz?
Trying to help him as much as possible. Be next to him, giving the tools, giving the confidence, and giving the minutes to exploit his talent. There's so many parts of his game that he's doing exceptionally well, and we know the one that needs to keep improving. But as always, with any players, giving support, especially when you see a player that does what he does every single day, and the way he tries, the way he applies himself, he's giving support, more tools, and if they don't perform, it's because it's up to us.
Your first game in charge of Arsenal was at Bournemouth.
Yes.
I think only 2 of the starting lineup that day are still at the club. What does that say about the job that you and Edu have done in that time? Well,
obviously a lot of changes. It's been a while now. It's been 3.5 years, almost 4 years since that moment. A really special one. Yeah, a lot of things has changed. Many of them are positive, and a lot of things on that journey, that's for sure.
Hi Mikel,
Hi.
hope you're well. 9 matches unbeaten so far in all competitions. Must be pleased that obviously, depending on the situation, you still managed to come through and not be beaten by anybody yet this season.
For sure, and we have to continue to do that, and that's the mindset that we won every single game. Win in any context, and we had very different contexts throughout the season already, and that's going to keep changing. And as you can see now, with the amount of situation that we have in the team, with the uncertainty of players, it's going to be even more. Playing every 3 days, having to win, having to compete in 3 different competitions in 7 days, and that's the challenge, and we are up for it, that's for sure.
I was at a press conference last week with Mauricio Pochettino, who said you can't buy confidence in the supermarket. He was saying you have to instill it in the team. How much are you instilling that in the team? How much do the players do it themselves?
Well, it's a huge thing, and it is the individual one, and it is the collective one, and then is the one that is external as well, and that confidence obviously transmit to each other. And yeah, playing well and winning matches is always the best thing to do, and we are in a good moment.
And then just finally, you mentioned Saliba and Vieira. Are
Yeah.
they in that same pool that they might not play tomorrow?
Let's see how everybody is today. Again, obviously they weren't selected, they were in the squad for a reason, and we need to assess them today.
Simon,
Yeah, what's the issue with Fabio and William fitness-wise?
They weren't fit enough to be in the squad. That's it.
Of those 6, I think it is, have you got hope of any of them being fit for tomorrow?
My hope is that everybody is fit and available, because we need them with the amount of games that we have already under the belt in the last 2 weeks, and what is coming in the next 7 to 10 days. Yeah, we need them. So hopefully today we get some good news.
Can you recall any periods of your playing or managerial career where there were 2 world-class goalkeepers fighting for the #1 spot every week?
Yeah.
Can you talk us through those situations?
Since I was 13 years old, one in Antiguoco and the other one in Barcelona. My 2 goalkeepers in the team were Victor Valdés and Pepe Reina.
And does this inspire you in the way you manage the situation today?
I don't know, but I was so safe. I look back and I have Pepe Reina and Victor Valdés. I was like, we have a big chance to win the game.
What's your biggest challenge this season in terms of improving your team?
We're playing better every day, playing better and suffocating the opponent more, create more chances, concede 0, and play as far as possible from our goal.
Is it the goalkeeper situation, the midfield, the forwards? What's the most difficult situation to deal with?
It's all linked, and the opponent has a big say on that. You know, you face different behaviors from opponents, different concepts. Games open up when you score early, when you don't, when you concede, when you have errors. A lot of things affect, but continue winning.
Mikel, I just wanted to ask you, it's been a while since I asked you about your 5-phase plan. Are you in phase 4 now, or are you still in phase 3?
Well, I don't have time during between games right now to talk about the phase. The phase that we have right now is 24 hours to prepare a game in the best possible way to beat Bournemouth, and we can get into that maybe in an international break or when I will be calmer.
So you won't tell me if you're in phase 3 or 4?
Now, no. Maybe in a month's time I can tell you.
All right, I'll wait then. I'll ask you another time.
Thank you. Well, first thing, availability. You know, and to find consistency, you need to be available. And if you miss periods, you know, your peak of form is going to be disrupted, and obviously then you're going to have less chances to play. And now obviously he had an eagle in pre-season, he was out, and now he's come back and he's finding form, and we need him. He has special qualities to play in wide areas in both positions, and especially with the situation we have now with the front players, it's been really important.
And obviously he's been coming off the bench primarily. Is that where you see his role mostly as an impact player, or do you think we could also see him starting a bit more like we did in midweek?
No, we have to see him starting as well, and we want to have a team that is more unpredictable and has the resources to rotate. They have to become starters as well. You know, if not, it's not enough. Thank you.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Kind of linked to that confidence theme. Tomiyasu seems, since he went away with Japan and played against Germany, I think, to really be, back to his best, I think. Just how, I guess, important is that, and how have you seen him, I guess, develop over the past few weeks?
Yeah. Well, I always said it, I'm really confident. The moment Tommy has consistency, he's going to be a tremendous asset for us. He already is. He can play in any position in the back line, any formation in the back line, and we don't have a player like him. And defending is probably one of the best that I've seen in many situations, and his concept, his principle, the way he applies it, the way he goes into duels, and now he needs a run of game that physically is at his best. If physically Tommy is at his best, we're going to have a player that is going to be so important for us.
When you say he's not like any other defender, is it just, I guess, someone who's that tall but quite calm as well when he plays? Is that what you're talking about there?
Yeah, but especially the way he reads danger and the way he resolves urgent situations with a lot of composure, as you said, in the right way. His skill to defend, the way his body is built, he makes him a really complete player too, that it's really difficult to get run past him. You know, he's always alert, it's the way he's been raised, educated, he's always super focused, and for a defender that's a big attribute.
Injury-wise, you've got 4 or 5 players seriously injured who might be on the verge of a return. Can I just go through them with you? And
Yeah.
Declan Rice.
He obviously wasn't available. He had to leave the London Derby, and he hasn't trained yet. We have another session in an hour or two, so we'll have more news about him today.
Gabriel Martinelli.
Again, he hasn't trained, and we want him back. We need him back, but at the moment he's not been available.
Leandro Trossard.
Same situation.
And Bukayo Saka.
Same situation.
Would it be a judgment that you make based on what happens today and also based on the fact you've got Lens and then Manchester City coming up as well?
No, the assessment is, okay, is he fit enough? Is he done enough to be able to be selected tomorrow? That's the question mark, and so far he hasn't trained with the team.
Are some of those nearer than others, or are they all around the same?
They're all in the same pool, and Willie as well had a knock. Fabio as well wasn't involved in the last game, so we have a few. We have to assess them today, how they see, and adapt to the situation, because that's a big number.
The fact that with Saka he's got this record consecutive run of games. If he came to you and said, "Boss, I want to keep that run going," would that be a factor?
Well, that would mean that he's feeling good, you know, and B's got now enough experience and understanding on when he's ready to help the team and when he's not. But that's what all the managers want to hear, that they want to play and they are feeling good to play. That's the most important thing.
Is there anything you think has caused, to have sort of 6 players out? Is it the fact that you're playing sort of Champions League again this season? Why do you think you've had sort of this injury?
Different reasons. Some of them happen in training, and some of them were knocks, some very small niggles, muscular niggles, but as well the load, coming from before the national team, after the national team, the load went through the roof. The demands continue to be really high, and the fact that we had 3 or 4 out already didn't give enough time to some of them to have the exposure that they needed.
When you've got Man City next week, does that come into your thinking in terms of rushing players back?
It's about now. It's about Bournemouth, and this is the most important game that we have now in the season. That's it.